You're listening to the unofficial podcast of Patreon. Patreon Podcast. Creative people pursuing their passions.
Hi, my name is Chris Cowan, and this is the Patreon Podcast, the unofficial podcast of Patreon, where you get to meet creative, inspiring people, find out how you can be part of their cool projects they're doing, and maybe if you're the creative-minded person yourself, find a little bit of insight into your own creative journey. Today we've got an awesome guest here, Dominik, from Germany, and he's got a really cool project that he has made available on Patreon, and that is Get Germanized, and it's a video series about Germany, German culture. Welcome, Dominik. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, guten Abend, good evening.
So did I get that right? Get Germanized. It's about German culture. Would you say that's?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's actually my favorite videos that I make are German culture videos, but I also make videos about learning the German language, and I do vlogging as well here in Germany to just show off the country and what I do. For people who are interested in more than just my main videos, they can just have a little sneak peek into my life, and so yeah, I do that as well.
Awesome, cool. So let's before we get into your specific YouTube Patreon project, let's just talk a little bit about you. Who are you, Dominik? Who are you? If somebody asks you, tell me something about yourself. What do you say?
You're casual German guy. No, I don't know. I'm 27 years old. I graduated from uni last year. Have my bachelor's in American and British Studies and Sociology now, and I am on YouTube mainly now. So after uni, I'm doing YouTube. That's a career.
Awesome. Cool. So so how did you get started? Obviously, you've been doing this video project for a little while, and before you joined Patreon, you've been doing it. How did you get started doing these videos?
Like I'm on YouTube since 2006, actually. Like doing all kinds of different videos, and before that, I even like filmed videos with my friends and stuff like that. So I was always big on video making, but. I switched from channel to channel for a while because I didn't really have a clear concept, didn't know what I really wanted to do, and I registered Meister Lehsherr, which is the Get Germanized account, 2009, but still didn't have a clear concept, uploaded videos whenever I wanted to, whenever I felt like it, and since 2013, I think it was in September, I regularly do videos on Get Germanized, and then the name kind of came up as well. Before that, it was called something else. I don't even remember now. Yeah. But yeah, I decided that I want to give this a shot as like. Actually, it wasn't as like my main career kind of like that wasn't the first thought, obviously, because I just love making videos, and I was still in uni when I started that channel off, and I don't know, I just have done it ever since.
Cool. Awesome.
I started doing these videos actually just to improve my own language skills, because I'm a native German speaker, and I wanted to practice English, and so that was the reason for the creation of the channel as well.
Okay, so you started basically a channel about German language and German culture and Germany in general, kind of from the basis of actually wanting to learn English a little bit better, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I tried to get in contact with people from all over the world and just speak English a lot more than I was back then, and I think it worked. I did these videos, and if you compare like my videos nowadays to my really old videos, you can hear like at first I started off with videos where I would just hold the camera in front of me and say like, "Hallo, ich bin Dominik, happy to be on YouTube," and stuff like that, So really awkward, and yeah, I think I improved at least a bit from that.
Awesome. So you said you've done videos before you kind of settled primarily on Get Germanized. So what kind of videos did you do before that?
All kinds of stuff. Like I did anime music videos. I did normal music videos. I made short films, like not many, but a few. and all different kinds of stuff. Like back then, even before, oh, not before YouTube, but like back in 2006 or so, me and my friend made a Star Wars video with like After Effects and stuff like that. So we had lightsabers going on and all that kind of stuff, and Force, what you call it in English, all that kind of stuff. So really, all different things. Like a little horror movie. I made a really short horror movie, which was terrible, but was fun to do anyways. So really, I don't know, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think doing a Star Wars short film is just like, that's kind of standard initiation for many videos. There's got to be some kind of Star Wars fan film somewhere in there. That's just, you're obligated, I think, to do that. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too.
Cool. So, so you got started doing this one basically as a means of kind of honing your English skills, and so that's kind of a cool little trade-off. You're sharing what you know at the same time learning yourself about English. How many videos have you done so far?
Oh, I don't want to lie. Let me check actually. Like on the different channels, I don't really know. But like over 200, I think, on the Get Germanized channel.
Cool. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. So what's your? And I asked you this beforehand, before we started recording, but what's your favorite video you've done so far, and why?
That is really a difficult question. Like I had a live hangout with my subscribers not too long ago, and they asked me the exact same question, and it's always hard because I can't, like, I don't know, I said, like, I told them that my favorite video is Why German is Scary, because it has created such a controversy, because so many Germans just hate on it, because they can't take any criticism, because it kind of portrayed German in an over-the-top manner, which I wrote down in the video description. Maybe I should have written it in German, I don't know, but they all said, like, oh, this is not German, this is Nazi speech, and I was like, yeah, dude, I know, I just wanted to portray it in an over-the-top manner to, like, showcase that German is a lot harsher than other languages. Well, they couldn't take that, or they didn't take that very well, but I always say that's my favorite video just because it's so hilarious to read through all the comments and stuff. So, yeah.
So you went over the top in terms of harshness. Did I hear you say Nazi? Somebody compared it to Nazis?
Oh, I get that all the time. Like even the name Get Germanized, but only from Germans. They are the only people who worry about that. They are like, oh, that name Get Germanized. That means that you force your culture on other people. I'm like, no, I don't force anyone to learn German. They all come voluntarily to my channel. But well. Oh well.
Nice. Well, and you've actually done a video that kind of explores that topic a little bit more, right? About people kind of needing to move on from World War II or something.
Oh, you mean like Germans still guilty guilty?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it! Now. Yeah. yeah. Well, yeah, I did. Germans. I think the response was a bit more positive when you talk about that video, because other people said no, Germans are not like they're responsible obviously, but they're not guilty anymore these days because it's a completely different generation. You shouldn't feel guilty because you didn't have anything to do with that. And I said in the video that I agree with that. Obviously, I don't know. Maybe people disagree, but I don't feel really responsible for anything back then because I wasn't even alive. Well.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm still being held accountable for slavery, so
yeah, exactly.
I think it's great that you have this channel, that you're I think it's unfortunate that kind of stuff comes up and even has to be addressed, because there's so much to the German culture that's so worth talking about. That's
Well, Germans just seem to be interested to talk about World War II and how people shouldn't see them as Nazis, but I don't know, they bring that up all the time. No one else really does, like on my channel. I don't get asked about World War II by other people all the time, just by Germans. Or not actually by Germans, but you know what I mean. Like they are the only people that like kind of, I don't know, that get enraged when you talk about that kind of stuff.
Wow, okay. Yeah. So the one of the links you sent me as one of your favorites, and I understand it's hard to choose because it's kind of like choosing a favorite child, right? It's just like I love all my children equally, right? So, but you did send me a link to one called How to Be German, and this was actually, I guess it was a series of videos, so this was part 2.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. So what do you like about this one in particular that really kind of makes it a favorite for you personally? What?
Um, I actually developed it with my ex-girlfriend, which is like she's Australian, and we sat down and talked about like, so what makes people German? What did you notice? Like, what do people do here that people in other countries don't, or what is weird to you? And we sat down, brainstormed, and then made a video out of that, wrote the script. I just like how true it is when it comes to some points at least, because for example there's a point that states like Germans have two different blankets and two different mattresses, and my girlfriend couldn't believe it when like she first when we first got together, and then she saw the bed with like two blankets and two pillows, and pillows are alright I guess, but like two mattresses, and yeah, people were shocked when they heard that in the video as well. They were like, what? I want a German girlfriend but I can't even be close to her, and I was like, oh sorry guys. That's just how it is.
So,
But yeah,
so like actually like separate, completely separate beds. Is that
well, it's not. It's a big bed, just
okay?
two mattresses next to each other and two blankets. Like my parents have it that way. I don't have it that way anymore. I just have one mattress and a big 2 meter times by 2 meter blanket, I think, because my girlfriend insisted, and I actually like it better now than the other setup.
That's funny because that's the kind of thing that like is kind of something we make fun of in America because our old TV shows. Like I mean, I wasn't aware of that for Germany, but for our old TV shows, like the Dick Van Dyke Show. Are you familiar with that show at all?
I heard about it, but I don't really know what it's about.
It's an old show from the '60s, and basically at that time and any time prior, every time you saw a married couple's bedroom, it was always two separate, completely separate beds, and to us that's just laughable because we know. I mean, nobody would ever think of having them separate at all. But because you want to. Back then, like it was taboo to even show a bathroom on TV. Showing two beds together is just no. You can't. So we look back on that and laugh at that kind of thing because it's like nobody does that, but apparently you actually do have separate mattresses in Germany. So
yeah, it's strange now that like I think about it, that it's like I don't know that other people in other countries don't do that. I think it's a bit strange as well, right? But it like as I said in the video, of course, like in a funny way, that it kind of improves comfort, and like I don't know, I kind of don't like to snuggle up anyways when I go to sleep, really go to sleep, because it's kind of uncomfortable, and so I guess that's what they had in mind when they came up with the idea of two different mattresses. I don't know.
Funny, and keep the kids knowing that it was the stork that dropped them off, or they were found
exactly.
That's wow. Yeah, a bit of trivia. The first American couple to ever be shown in the same bed on TV was the Flintstones. So,
really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So use that information, wisely, because
naughty Flintstones.
It's going to come in handy at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so you kind of touched on this a little bit, at least in terms of some people's response, in terms of the videos you've done, if there was any that maybe people weren't particularly fond of, or is there one that maybe you're not particularly fond of? If you look back and you're kind of like, that wasn't my best video I've made.
Yeah, well.
Spot there.
I haven't really I've had a look at all my old videos in the last couple of months because I did Retro Thursday where I kind of uploaded all my old videos to my main account, but I stopped doing that because it kind of confused all my viewers because they were like, so what is this? And new people were confused obviously as well because I didn't know if all my videos were like that, so I just uploaded them all at once into like a retro kind of playlist and unlisted it so that it wouldn't show. Anyways, there is a video of me just like the whole video, I film myself pouring hot water into instant noodles, and I talk about stuff. Really, really boring video, and I don't know. That was one of my first videos, I think. And yeah, I'm not really particularly fond of that one. It's kind of embarrassing. But yeah, well.
Yeah, it's always the early stuff because I've been podcasting since 2006, and I actually do a similar thing. I'll do like a retro retro look back. If I like miss a week on podcasting, I'll send some of my earlier ones, and it's hard to choose some of that early stuff because it's just like, oh my gosh, that's like painful sometimes to go back.
Yep, I agree.
Nice. So, what about one that's like is there one that's a particular fan favorite?
Yeah, I would say I have probably gained most of my subscribers through Why German is Scary because it just, I don't know, it has the most views as well, almost 1 million now, and it's yeah, I don't know if I like that actually because it's not really what my channel is all about, just that kind of stuff, like just portraying Germans in an over-the-top manner. But I guess it's fine. Like if people like subscribe, they actually like they wouldn't just subscribe because of one video, would they? Maybe they would. I don't know, but they will at least look at the channel and then think, oh, maybe I like other stuff too. So it's beneficial. But yeah, that is probably the fan favorite that we got here.
So what has been the biggest challenge with your video series? Anything in particular that has been like a hurdle or an obstacle you've had to overcome throughout the past few years?
Improving my video quality, I guess, because it's expensive to buy all that new equipment. But I don't know. Maybe just researching all that stuff because I didn't study German. I studied like English, and so I know all the things like by heart pretty much, but I don't know the rules behind it. So I have to like research every topic pretty much I want to make a video about as well. Not that it was like a big struggle, but you have to constantly learn yourself, which is good, I guess. So yeah.
Cool. So has there been any particular milestone or any kind of big like moment where you've been like, oh my gosh, that was so worth it, or where you just kind of stopped and realized, oh, I've come a long way?
I would say for me, like there's maybe not a particular milestone. Like when you talk about subscribers, of course, it's great when you see like that you have 10,000 people subscribe to you, or 20,000, or 30,000. But what I like the most actually is when people come to me and say, hey, I started learning German because of you, because you got me interested in the language. Or when people say, hey, you helped me through the day today because I had a really shitty day and your videos just made my day. I get that sometimes, and that just, I don't know, that just feels so great, and that gives me so much motivation just to keep on doing this. And I don't know, or when people say that I helped them through their, I don't know, through their language tests and all that kind of stuff, that just gives me the most motivation. That is probably, I don't know, every time someone says that, my personal milestone, always, like, how do you say that? I don't know. Every time it's a new milestone.
That's cool. That's awesome. That's great to have a new milestone each time somebody asks. That's pretty much the best thing you can have.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably got to be just the most rewarding part of any project that you do like this has got to be getting that feedback from people who you've touched, who you've actually had a positive impact on, and getting to see that hey, I'm not just doing videos, just goofy videos or things that aren't being paid attention to anybody. You've got 34,000 subscribers right now, and you've got people who are actually thanking you for really helping them out in tangible ways. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. That's like, yeah, it's awesome. Definitely. I don't know how to say it in any other way.
Yeah, no,
it's totally awesome.
I overuse the word awesome too much because sometimes there's some things that you just can't describe any other way. And how do you say awesome in German?
Fantastisch, I guess. Oh no, that's more like fantastic, awesome. Let me actually look that up too, because sometimes there are so many different meanings as well, and I always look stuff up before I say something wrong. Awesome. Everything is awesome.
Are you using Google Translate? That's cheating if you use it.
No, I'm using dick.cc. That's my personal dictionary site. I guess fantastisch, you could say. It says fantastisch here, or geil. Yeah. Geil is actually, we use geil for horny as well, but we use it also to say, oh, that's awesome. This is geil,
I'll do fantastisch. Fantastisch, is that right? Am I doing it right?
Fantastisch.
Fantastisch. Am I doing
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's a good one. Yeah, good try.
My Germany is completely absent. So.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, all right. So let's. This is the Patreon podcast. So let's talk a little bit about the Patreon specific stuff. Your Patreon page, which can be found at patreon.com/Get Germanized. And when people ask you, what is Patreon? How do you answer them? How do you describe it?
Well, I always say that it's pretty much like Kickstarter, just for artists or YouTubers. So it's not like funding a big not $1 million, but like a project with a big what do you say? Like that they want to collect a certain amount of money. It's different from that insofar that when you choose to pledge an amount on Patreon, you support the artist for every project that he kind of uploads. For example, you can pledge $2, and then every time I make a video, then I get these $2 from you. But you can also set a maximum amount that you want to give each month, so that you don't go over your budget. So you can say, I want to pledge $2 for every video you make, but I don't want to go over $20 a month, and then you don't. And so that's pretty sick, I think, or pretty neat.
Yeah. And it's cool because it's unlike Kickstarter, where Kickstarter, you fund one project, the person creating that project gets all the money and then makes the project, and then hopefully it turns out the way you expected. What I love about Patreon is you commit, it's an ongoing pledge, and the person continues producing stuff. And that's what's cool, is because, if their stuff starts sucking and you're like, this is not worth worth supporting, you can be like, I'm out of here, and cut your losses that way. Whereas if you sometimes with Kickstarter, it's a little bit of a gamble because there's not really a whole lot of accountability once you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because, like, for example, this, I don't know if you know about that, but that Oculus Rift. Do you know Oculus Rift?
Rings
bell. It's like this virtual reality headset that started off on Kickstarter as well and was now bought by Facebook.
That's right.
And so many people were pissed. They wanted their money back from Kickstarter because they didn't want that. But of course, they won't get their money back because they don't have any rights to the actual company that it was created out of that money that they gave them. So it's definitely better that way, like on Patreon, that you can just say, if you don't do what I really like, then I won't support you anymore. So, blackmail.
Absolutely. Well, I heard, not to get off on a Kickstarter tangent, because I love Kickstarter. I think it's great. But I've seen other cases where somebody funded, like somebody was doing like a comic book or something and was promising, I'm going to send you a copy of every single comic book I do, and ended up maybe sending some of them out and then literally posted online, okay, I can't afford to send everybody one, so I'm gonna, and you guys are really bothering me because you keep hassling me about this, so I'm gonna, for every single person who pesters me about it, I'm gonna burn one of the copies that I haven't sent.
Oh my God! Really black sheep on the internet then. You got there.
Those are the exceptions, and those are the ones who kind of ruin it for the rest. But funny.
He could have just scanned them, couldn't he, and just send off a digital copy at least, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
Instead of burning them all.
I know. Like,
what a douche.
Top there, buddy. Yeah. So Patreon is obviously, that's one of the things I like about it is you keep on getting more and more as it progresses, and that's what's great. So your Patreon page is videos about the German language and culture at patreon.com/Get Germanized. And your tagline there is Germanizing the world, one brain at a time. So awesome stuff there, and you've got a video there, and a nice description. Okay, so you've got a drawing of you in front of the German flag. Did you draw that, or did somebody draw that for you?
Sadly, I'm not that talented. Like, a subscriber drew that for me back in I don't know when exactly. Like, it was a while ago for a T-shirt design that I had a contest going where I said, like, hey, if you want to design me a T-shirt, then you'll get one for free. I don't know, and then I will put it in the store and people can buy it so that everyone sees your design. And so the person drew this, and I just cut that out of the actual design and just used that as my avatar ever since, because I found it kind of funny looking, and I like it. I don't know.
That's awesome. That's cool. So with Patreon, what's cool is there's milestones that you can reach. This is where if I get this amount per video in contributions, then it'll allow me to accomplish this task or get this equipment or that kind of thing. And then there's also incentives, which are if you as a supporter support me at this level, like commit to $3 per video, this is what you'll get kind of as a kickback, as a thank you from me. So you've got those incentives there. So just kind of briefly, because I see you've got a few different levels of incentives that you offer to your supporters. So what are some of the things that some of the incentives you offer?
For example, we got this Patreon-only stream, which is like not really, I don't know, I wrote it in there because it is a fact that you get access to the Patreon-only stream, but that's pretty much a given. Like everyone gets that once you pledge $1 or something like that. And then we got a shout-out in my next Sei mein Liebling Ja video, which is like an ongoing series that I have where I read out comments, go through fan mail, and pretty much yeah, sorry, I have to think of the word. Where like show people my favorite channels on YouTube or channels of my subscribers and all that kind of stuff, and I thank my patrons in that show as well. And then I got a monthly Google Hangout with my $3 pledge level supporters on Patreon. And what else do we get here? Ah, yeah. $5 pledge level is a one-on-one Skype or Google Hangout session with me, where they can pretty much do whatever they want with me. They can practice their German, they can ask me personal questions. Really, it's up to the person that's in front of me there. Yeah, and then the other levels haven't been touched yet. Maybe I will update those, because I don't know if anyone would, because I make 3 videos a week, would give $15 or $25 for a video. But I have just, I don't know, I had to think of some options, and I thought, like, I don't know, I have to think of something.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Lots of little kind of thank you stuff to recognize people who are supporting you. And then you've got a couple milestone goals. I see right now you've got 23 patrons, and as of this podcast, you're at the $57 per video level, which is pretty awesome. If you get to the $100 per Get Germanized video, that'll allow you to get a new camera for lessons, skits, and vlogs. And you're looking at getting a let's see. So right now you mentioned your old camera is always out of focus, very beaten up, and the DSLR that you use is borrowed. So it's
yeah. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah.
But this is my vlogging camera. Oh damn it, you can't really. But it has cracks and stuff all over it, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It goes out of focus all the time, and this is kind of my camera when I go out and show people stuff in Germany, and so it's not that unimportant. And I want to buy a new one. And I thought I could set that as one of my goals.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great goal. So hey folks, head over to check out his videos first, which you can find at youtube.com/
Meister Lehsherr, but you can just type in Get Germanized on YouTube, like in the search, and you will find my channel right away as well. That's easy, I think.
We'll have a link at patreonpodcast.com/Get Germanized. We'll have a link in all the show notes for this episode there as well. So all this stuff will be there. But check out his stuff, and then if you like what he's doing, head over to Patreon and help him get that new DSLR camera.
That would be awesome. I'm always so thankful when people actually decide to do that, because I see people with like 100,000 subscribers or even more, like a few million, and not many people actually go on Patreon and pledge really something. So I'm really thankful to everyone who does that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge way to. That's got to be such a huge. To know somebody not only likes what you're doing, but likes enough to say, hey, I want to support you, and that's a huge thing, and
yeah, I agree.
another milestone in itself, I'm sure. Now, if you get to the $300 per Get Germanized video, what's going to happen at that point?
Well, at least I thought in my mind that would be cool because people ask me all the time, can't you go around Germany and show us different places, like actually go there, not show us pictures only? And I was like, yeah, I would love to do that, but I can't really afford that at this point in time because traveling is expensive, I guess, for everyone it is, and in every country it is. So I said that once I reach that $300 level, that I really don't have to worry that much anymore. I will do that. Like I will go to different places, interview people from there, like ask them what the main attractions in that area are, and then go there and just ask about little I don't know, local secrets maybe and that kind of stuff. So just to show really show off places here in Germany.
That's awesome, and that's great because that's a great way to add even more quality, even more content to the videos you're already doing that already have a great following, and it's that's the kind of thing that's a great win-win for both you and your audience if you get to that milestone. So definitely good luck with that, and folks definitely check out his YouTube channel and his Patreon page as well. So before we go, I asked you for an inspirational quote or at least a German saying, and I'm gonna try my best to completely butcher it because I have no idea how to pronounce German, and then you can correct me afterwards. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this. This is terrible. I shouldn't even try. Ich glaube, ich bin.
Ich glaube, ich spinne. It was a good try. Ich glaube, ich spinne. It means I think I spider. You can say it again if you want. Ich glaube, ich spinne.
Ich glaube, ich. I can't. I'm just gonna.
That's fine. I can understand how hard it is to do these sounds that you don't really do in your language most of the time. At least not in that position in the word. You know. Yeah. I don't know. Ich glaube, ich spinne it means I think I spider, and that means I can't believe it. Like you say that when you're surprised or when you're in disbelief about something, then you say that. And I just think it's really funny because it doesn't make any sense. I think I spider, but well, yeah. It comes actually from the word spinnen, which means like to be crazy, and okay. Spinne is actually spider as well, though. Like spinne and the verb spinnen mean two different things in German.
Nice. Yeah. That's definitely a weird one. I was going to ask you to teach me a German word, but I think I've embarrassed myself enough. What's a super? Yeah, let's do this. Give me the easiest German word to learn, other than 9, because I know that one.
Ice.
Ice.
That means ice.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I speak German now.
Yeah, das Eis.
He asks me if I want a drink on the rocks, I can just say 9 ice, and
yeah, exactly.
Right? Will that work?
With ice, or what did you want to say?
Well, yeah, if I don't want ice in my drink, I can say 9.
Ohne Eis, without ice.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't. I'm not as smart as I thought I was with you.
That's all right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Where just once again, where can listeners connect with you on? Obviously we'll have the YouTube link and stuff. But do you have a Twitter or Facebook or anything like that you want to put out there for our listeners?
Yeah. I got it all. I got a Twitter. The Twitter account is Vuko, V-U-K-O. That's just the nickname my friends came up with, and it's just the Twitter name, Vuko, V-U-K-O. And I got a Facebook page which you can reach when you type in facebook.com/Get Germanized. That's easier. I got all different kinds of things, Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But you can find all that in pretty much all of my video descriptions and on the main channel in the About section. I got all the links there as well, so if you want to check that out, you'll find it there.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you. Fantastisch? Is that, am I screwing it up?
Fantastisch, exactly.
Fantastisch. All right.
Good one.
Well, thank you so much for joining. It's been a real pleasure having you, getting to talk.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Getting to learn a little bit about the German language a little bit. That's not well. Darn. 1 second. we go. I'm trying to play some outro music and be all slick about it, and it's on mute, so it's not even coming out. So, thank you for joining. It has been really awesome having you, getting to learn a little bit about the German culture. And thank you, listeners, as well. You can find all the show notes and links to Ethan's Patreon page and other projects at patreonpodcast.com/Get Germanized. I would also like to ask a super huge favor from everyone listening. If you enjoy this show, head on over to iTunes. It's only going to take a couple minutes. Just leave us a review. Tell us what you think. That'll be it'll mean the world to me, and it'll mean the world to Dominik too, I'm sure.
It will.
Awesome. Until next time, I just want to encourage you to keep pursuing your creative passions, and we will talk to you next week.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Awesome. Cool.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. Like I did, actually, I was kind of like, I didn't really know what to expect, but because the radio interview was fine, but I was a bit, I don't know, it was just a bit awkward. But this was cool. Like, I loved it. Like, you're a nice guy, and I like the comics in the background as well. That just made you get you like a big bonus right away. It's awesome.
Yeah, my entire office is it drives my wife crazy because she's not the comic fan that I am, but I've got old kind of style comics just decorating my wall all around.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's what I do. So.
I'm looking forward actually to showing this to my subscribers as well, because it was a lot of fun, like you just said yourself, and I will just send me the link when it's uploaded, or when you have it ready, and then I'll just spread it and try to like get people to listen to it, because it was lots of fun.
Well, yeah, it was a total blast. It'll be on my podcast and on YouTube in the future, and I'll let you know once I have those details. Before I'm officially launching this, I'm kind of getting a few episodes down under my belt.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Have
that makes sense
to look at. So yeah, I'll definitely let you know as soon as it's live, and yeah, definitely appreciate any shout out you want to do. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. No worries.
All right, man. Well, thanks again. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you soon. Bye.